Now, I think a lot of people just walk through this park here on the southern tip of Manhattan, known as the Battery Park. However, there is a lot of monuments inside Battery Park, and a lot of them deal with history, pretty much all of them. Today, this is the Battery Park. Now, the largest monument here inside Battery Park is the East Coast Memorial, which is a World War II memorial that honors all the dead from the Battle of the Atlantic. Now, it has 8 gray granite pylons that are each 19 feet tall, 4 pylons on the northern side and 4 pylons on the southern side. And on all the pylons and the names of the missing. On the eastern side of the plaza is a bronze eagle statue sculpted by Albino Manca. Hope I'm pronouncing that name right. The eagle shows its grip in a laurel wreath over a wave, which means to signify the act of mourning at the watery grave. Now, you may be thinking how many names are actually on all of these, essentially these 8 pylons, and it is 4,601 names of the American servicemen who died in combat in the Atlantic Ocean during World War II. The monument was dedicated by President John F. Kennedy on May 23, 1963. It's massive in person. I mean, I don't know if the video here is going to really translate that. I mean, they are seriously 19 feet tall. And another thing that's amazing is how many out of all the branches of men who were killed during the Battle of the Atlantic, it's across all branches. So the Army Air Corps, the Navy, the Coast Guard, as well as even a few Marines, which is surprising. Now, this is the memorial that really drew me to Battery Park all on its own, and it's the Korean War Memorial. It honors all military personnel who served in the Korean War, so from 1950 to 1953. It was one of the very first Korean War memorials inside the United States. This monument commemorates the fallen heroes as well as the living veterans of the Korean War, which is also known as the Forgotten War. I mean, let's be honest, no veteran who fights in a war wants their war to be called the Forgotten War. It's kind of a sad deal there. This memorial is 15 feet tall, made out of black granite, with the silhouette of a universal soldier in the middle. Seen through the middle of the silhouette, you can see the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, and that is deliberate. You see how the inside of the outline of the universal soldier, it's empty? Now, this is on purpose. This is the literal void in the middle of the universal soldier silhouette, signifies the figurative loss and the absence of those that died in the Korean War. Obviously, South Korea and the United States were the two fighting forces for the South, and those casualty numbers depict that pretty accurately. You know, I did know Australia had sent troops there. I did not know Belgium sent troops there. That's an eye opener. And Colombia. Never would have guessed. To learn more about their service there in Korea, as well as our own, really. New Zealand, not really surprised. New Zealand sent some troops, very little. This was a real, fairly global force in favor of South Korea. Sweden, I'm assuming Sweden sent some sort of maybe support troops or maybe no troops at all, and they just kind of helped with equipment. But Sweden's an eye-opener. Luxembourg sent troops. That's wild. No, I'm gonna have to do a lot more reading about the Korean War, because some of this stuff is fairly shocking. Denmark, Ethiopia, yeah, totally caught off guard by some of those countries. So I'm within Battery Park, and as you can see, that's Castle Clinton. I do have a previous episode up on the channel about Castle Clinton's history. Be sure to check that out. It depicts John Ericsson, who was an engineer and inventor, and he revolutionized maritime military technology with his ironclad monitor. In 1836, Ericsson invented and patented the screw propeller, which obviously improved steamboat travel. And in 1839, the U.S. Navy approached Ericsson, where he designed the USS Princeton, which included many of his own inventions, such as the screw propeller, smokestacks, ventilators, optical instruments, and gun carriages. One of the craziest things ever is that in 1844, during a demonstration of one of these experimental gun carriages that Ericsson invented, one accidentally exploded, killing the Secretaries of State and the Secretary of the Navy. So this is a memorial that, honest to God, because it's not directly situated within Battery Park, I have no idea how many people just walk past this or simply ignore it. But this is the American Merchant Mariners Memorial. It was dedicated on October 8th, 1991. It depicts a man in the water reaching up to grasp the hand of one of the three merchant mariners on board a lifeboat. The sculptor, Marisol Escobar, was inspired by a photograph of victims of a World War II submarine attack on an American merchant ship. And this monument is dedicated to all the merchant mariners who have served the U.S. from the Revolutionary War all the way to today. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's little daily dose of history here at the Battery Park. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, as it really helps the channel out. And I will see you all next week at the same time, same day, same channel.